Salutations. Want to do a fast blast video over the UFO Gyro-Spherical Engine, which is from the first experience that I had when I first started having experiences again at the age of 18. Okay, actually this is maybe a little bit 17 and a half, but anyway, so this was brought to my attention that this particular engine I had not really gone into detail about, especially the aspects of it that pertain to the fullerene and the buckyball. So let's talk about that real quick. When dealing with this, it takes us into the honeycomb conjecture, and the reason why bees actually use the hexagon so much, we're dealing with hexagon right here, so we're dealing with the honeycomb conjecture. This is one of the photos here, okay, that is of this engine that I saw. And once again, I've talked about this a few times, so I won't go too much detail on some aspects. But one thing, I think the most important thing is that what was the base of this is what you see right here. It's this ball, okay, and it looked very much like a hexagon in a spherical form, and this looked organic. And this takes us into what our science discovered some time ago, which is C60, the carbon molecule, actually carbon C60, which goes into the fullerene and also called the buckyball. And I'll put some pictures of that up also. And that looks actually where it looks similar to a soccer ball. And that's actually what they say composes carbon for the most part. So when looking at something like the people that are fans of Suge Knight, check out the fullerene and the buckyball. But this looks quite similar, with the exception of this is organic. And what I believe is they're harnessing here is what these beings communicated with me. They're called AGLE, all right, Angelic Golden Liquid Energy. And it's very thick golden light, almost with substance, but not quite, all right. So anyway, the rings going around this, I believe, are some type of a magnetic containment that allows for these things to become, I believe this is what science is now calling politons. Politons, superfluid condensates. I think that's similar to what this is, and when we look at that, our science now, I think that's going into what this actually is that we're seeing here. Anyway, so this is the fullerene type of organic structure that I believe is actually more like an orgone accumulator is what we're seeing here. Okay, it's polarizing this light that is going up into this black box. Now remember again, I had said that these are actually decks. This thing is huge. When I'm down here near this getting dizzy, looking up, I'm seeing up like what looks like stories almost. But I can see people touching the light over here, and they look like they're partially phased out. So I kind of went up, when I got up there, I had an experience with that. But more importantly is that this light is going up to the black box. I've even done a video on the black box, and they said those are inertial dampeners is what always come to me about these. And I think that they're extracting also the life energy, and they're using that to release an anti-gravity field around the skin of the ship. So I believe that this box is actually containing negative mass as far as science goes and quantum physics. That's my opinion. That is negative mass in there, and that's how they're doing with the jump of frequency and also going into these wormholes that has to do with the quantum hologram and all these things. The Mako that is being used within that quantum hologram, or within the Mako, within the black hole itself. Anyway, so that's one example of this engine and this hexagon configuration. But I've seen it before on another craft that I told you. This is a pure conscious craft I was on, and in this craft, in this room, it was more like a cave. It's a physical experience, but to me it seemed more like, almost like a cave. And from the cave were like these stalagmites, but on the end of them were these things. Some of them almost looked more like a hourglass, but there were these honeycomb, like cocoon looking things that were moving. They were alive. And then when one of them would, like, you see a stripe lights flashing around the side of it, and suddenly a light being would emerge from that. So they were using these for a type of metamorphosis, once again with life energy. We're dealing with that when thinking about orgone, prana, kundalini, the things that run these ships themselves. I've talked about this a lot. That's what this AGLE is. This is some type of AGLE, and once again, that takes us into the hexagon, and this doesn't look so much the shape of a fullerene. Okay, it's just a little different, but it's the same basic concept. see, I believe that's most of what I wanted to tell you concerning this. Two ways, just example of ways that this orgone energy, this life energy is being used for the crafts, the ships, the beings themselves. I've told you a lot about the compounds that make the ship itself and how there's a part of the DNA of the crew there. That also includes life energy. So sometimes you have life energy that these beings are using. They're all operating around the singularity that is the engine. So that's another way that when contactees touch this light there, they're up there, they touch this light, especially if they're in the dream body, so they won't be getting sick like I am there physically. They're touching this light. You hear many contactees / experiencers, whatever, say it turns into a wormhole and they get access to the Akashic records. That's because this is actually built and constructed around a wormhole, so it's temporarily displaced. That's the thing about this engine. I won't go much further than that into it. I want to give a thanks out to everyone that has, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, very positive. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the nice comments that are put on there, because Lord knows they're not all like that, but I'm starting to see more of that than the others, so thank you very much. Please check out Patreon. Please put a like on this. Please share. I'm still shadow banned. You can actually put my name and the video in the search engine and it won't come up. Other people's stuff will come up. So please check out the playlist. There are 220 some videos on here. Check out the playlist. There's videos that won't come up unless you look at the individual playlist. So I implore you to do that. Thank you very much. Peace.